Hi, everybody. Martin Root with Project Heaven on Earth. And I have a very dear old friend who's just written a wonderful book. Her name is Linda Fischer. Hi, Linda. Welcome.
Hey, Martin, so good to be with you.
Your book is called,
From Hell to Heaven, 16 Lessons and Blessings to Inspire Your Journey Beyond Recovery.
and what I read the book and I wrote a blurb on it, and I found it gut-wrenching. I found it like you stripped naked in terms of your speaking from the depth of your soul. And of course, I love the title, From Hell to Heaven. So let's begin with hell. I want to go through each of the components of the title. Hell. Tell me about hell as it relates to you in this book.
Well, Martin, that's a big topic right there because I think hell for everyone is different. I think each one of us in our lifetime hits a place called hell. In our humanity, we have those kinds of issues that come up that really challenge us. And for me, it was addiction. It was alcoholism, and at first, and then it was drug addiction. And hell for me was not understanding that first time I took that sip at 12 years old that I would be a blackout drinker. I thought I was just going to be like any other little kid that was testing their strengths of their youth. And before I knew it, I was steeped into alcoholism. And later on, drug addiction came on.
Well, you went through everything. You went through alcohol, you went through drugs, you went through sex addiction, all kinds of stuff. And then something happened, and it was a wake-up call that you switched from having a life full of hell to a life of heaven. What happened?
So at 19 years old, I had hit a bottom. And I think a bottom is what we have to come to before we're ever able to get to heaven. We have to find a place that says, I'm willing to do anything. But my hell and my bottom was going to be, I was going to leave. I attempted suicide and had what is called an NDE, a near-death experience. And while I was above my body, they were operating on my wrist because I had slit my wrists. And I didn't realize it was me on the operating table. And I was engulfed in this most beautiful yellowish white light. And I felt like I was being rocked in just pure love. Never ever experienced anything like that. Have come close to something that felt like it. And I heard this voice say, if you want to leave, you can. But if you go back, your life will get better from this day forward. And I also heard that who I am is love. And here I am.
You know, I've done a lot of reading with respect to Heaven on Earth about near-death experience, about NDE, and it's consistent. Your experience is so consistent with many, many others who have seen the light, been in the light rather, been in the love, been in what I call heaven, and have a deep desire to bring that experience back within their own lives and to the lives of others. So once you had the NDE and you chose to come back, then what? What happened?
Well, what happened was in the voice that I heard, it said that your life will get better from this day forward. Well, little did I know, in spirit's time, it isn't the same as being here on earth. So my life did start getting better. I started having these little miracles happen. I had only used intravenous drugs one time after that. I got my GED. Life started to show a little bit more light in it. It didn't necessarily mean that it was heaven yet. It didn't feel peace-filled yet, but I could see that I was being led in a way that I didn't quite understand at that point. In about 6 years after that, or 5 years after that, I entered a recovery program. And how I ended up getting into the program was I dialed a wrong number. So I believe from that moment that I had that NDE to the moment that I made that phone call, something was leading me. And that's how heaven started becoming a part of my life. I thought about the word heaven before we had this conversation today. And one might think that it means everything is light and happy and and peace filled and nothing happens to us, But what I see as heaven is this place where we're being led into the essence of who we really are. And I started getting glimpses that made me want more. And that's how heaven started living inside of me, is realizing there was more to me than just the sum of my disease of addiction. And that started bringing heaven into my life.
And that's so beautiful because tell people, like, today you are a coach. And for me, what a coach always does is to bring out more of that within
Yes.
people. So talk about the parallels between the essence of coaching and that.
Well, when I think about coaching, I think about my position as a coach is to bring out somebody else's inner brilliance, right? And I think that's what heaven is. It brings out our inner brilliance. It starts bringing us back to our soul's essence. I don't believe, at least in the era that I was raised in, that we talked much about how beautiful and radiant we are inside of ourselves. And we take on a lot of cultural messages and family of origin issues and life experiences that, from a perception standpoint, may really hurt us. And so we might not realize that we all are truly beautiful essence of the divine. And so as a coach, I think my job is to help that person find that inside of them. They might think they're coming to me about finding a new job or relationship issues, but the truth of it is it's coming home to ourselves from my perspective.
Beautiful. And the word brilliance for me, I don't know if you ever thought of this, but brilliance means light, but it also means intellect, sharp intellect. So the mind and the soul. I want to also, the subtitle is 16 Lessons and Blessings Beyond Recovery. And that also fascinated me, because most people, when they write or talk about recovery, it's about recovery and that's it.
Yeah.
You're saying after. Talk to us about that.
Well, I often say to people that I didn't want to just recover. I didn't want a piece of the pie. I wanted the whole damn pie. And what that meant to me was I didn't want to be defined by my disease. I wanted to find out who I was beyond the person who had, excuse me, addiction in her life. And so I have learned about my body, my emotions. I've studied holistic health. I became an athlete. I just did a lot of healing work. And I realized beyond recovery means I worked on every day of my life. I do something to inspire myself so I could be a better person, bring out, I don't even know if it's a better person, bring out the best of my person, right? And so for me, beyond recovery isn't just settling for not drinking or drugging and just doing what it takes in the beginning. It's doing it every day for the rest of my life.
Beautiful.
I came out with this book, and since then I have had everything happen amazingly that you can imagine. Old boyfriends, somebody who actually knew Hound Dog that I write about in the book. But the one I want to mention about is my father, who's 91 years young, has asked to read the book. We had an hour and a half conversation about this. And to me, it shows that no matter how old you are, you can continue to heal and move beyond recovery.
Linda, thank you. The book title, again, we'll show it, is From Hell to Heaven, which I love, by Linda Fischer. Thank you for being a heaven maker, Linda, because you really, really are. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's always my blessing to be in your presence, Martin, in your light. Thank you.
Thank you.